Battle through the heavens, grand world. Chapter 218 Geniuses gathered. Yin Kang. Could it be the youngest son of Sect Master Yin? That's right. I heard that half a year ago, he went into seclusion to study the great Yin spirit arts of profound Yin sect. Now that he has come out, it's very likely that he has already comprehended something. This kid is definitely not simple. When Yin Kang stepped onto the arena and the surrounding people heard him announce his name, they were all shocked. Some of the people with active thoughts looked at Yin Jushuan, who was standing on the tall platform. They seemed to be deep in thought as they looked at Yin Jushuan, who was standing on the tall platform. With a glance, they already knew that this was the opportunity for the latter to let Yin Kang show his face in front of the experts from Star-Severing Mountain Range. Divine Wind Castle, Zhang family's Jiangzi, please enlighten me. As Yin Kang's words fell, not long after, a male youth with a sharp voice jumped onto the stage and stood firmly on the stage. He didn't care about it at all. Yin Kang looked around and cupped his fist in front of his chest as he spoke in a loud voice. The young tiger of the Zhang family, Jiangzi. Hey, there's going to be a show to watch now. Some experts of Divine Wind Castle who knew Jiangzi's strength chuckled. They looked at the Zhang family's patriarch, who was sitting upright not far away, and couldn't help but feel excited. This Jiangzi could be considered the strongest amongst the younger generation in Divine Wind Castle. He was crowned with the name of a young tiger. Myriad Spirit City, Zhao family's Zhao Shuo. Seeing the two of them going up the stage, the handsome young man who followed beside Zhao Qingshan could no longer sit still. Without waiting for Zhao Qingshan to speak, he leapt up and landed on the stage, as steady as a rock. Zhao Qingshan looked at Zhao Shuo and smiled. He was very confident in this junior. If he won this time, he could ask Yin Jushuan for the great Yin spirit arts. Even if the other party didn't agree, he could ask for the second best and borrow it for a look. Swoosh, swoosh. Seeing that 3 people had already entered the arena, the contestants below finally couldn't hold it any longer. The sound of air being torn apart could be heard. Nearly 10 young men had already landed on the arena. Each of them was looking at the others arrogantly, totally not putting them in their eyes. After all, they were geniuses from all over the place. No one would easily submit to anyone. Jade Fairy sat together with a few female servants. She ignored the stunned gazes from the surroundings as her pretty eyes looked downwards. When she saw that Xiao Yan, who was beside Yun had finally made a move, the nervousness in her heart relaxed a little. Her hand gently patted her ample chest. This action immediately caused a swallowing sound to be heard from the surroundings. Xiao Yan's toes lightly tapped the ground and his body landed firmly on the stage like a swallow. At this moment, he had taken off his black robe and was wearing a rather tattered black robe. His face looked exactly the same as the group of young men standing on the stage. Xiao Yan's landing on the platform did not attract anyone's attention, but the others did not care. It did not mean that Zhao Qingshan did not notice it. The others had never seen Xiao Yan's appearance, and Zhao Qingshan still remembered it clearly. This brat, why is he participating in the competition? When Zhao Qingshan saw Xiao Yan appear on the stage, his calm face changed slightly. He clearly remembered how powerful Xiao Yan's soul was when he was in Medicine Pavilion yesterday. The expression on his face changed constantly, but soon, Zhao Qingshan returned to normal. Although his soul energy was powerful, Xiao Yan's true strength was still too weak. Besides, there were so many contestants on the stage. Even if he used his soul attack, he wouldn't be able to hold on for long. After all 16 contestants went on the stage, the scene finally quieted down. Everyone's eyes were burning with passion as they looked at the dozens of people on the stage. These young men could represent the young generation of the Star-Severing Mountain Range. In the generation, whoever was better and who was worse would represent the power and influence of the Star-Severing Mountain Range in a few decades' time. Xiao Yan stood calmly on the stage and looked curiously at the other participants. Although all of them were full of pride, there were still a few who were slightly nervous when faced with so many people. Both of their legs were trembling slightly. None of the 16 people dared to act rashly. All of them stared at the people beside them with alert eyes. If they attacked now, it would undoubtedly attract everyone's attention. If they were surrounded and attacked, even if they were geniuses from all over the world, they would inevitably be defeated. No one attacking. Yin Kang's cold expression swept across everyone. The corner of his mouth curled up slightly. In the next instant, his body had already turned into a ray of light as he rushed towards a young man in green standing beside him. The wind from his fist whistled. Before the young man in green could recover from his shock, a brutal attack was already aimed at his chest. Woo! Although the green-clothed young man was highly focused, he only reacted when Yin Kang's fist was swung. Immediately, his expression changed drastically. Both of his palms were swiftly pushed forward in an attempt to block Yin Kang's punch. When Yin Kang's fist came into contact with the young man's palm, the corner of the former's mouth suddenly revealed a trace of a cold smile. Xiao Yan, who was not far away, also raised his eyebrows, and stared at Yin Kang's fist with his sharp eyes. At this moment, a blood-curdling scream was heard. The young man who was hit in the chest by Yin Kang had already vomited blood and was sent flying backwards. He crashed into the ground, and his chest heaved up and down violently. He coughed out a mouthful of blood. The sudden change startled everyone, and they immediately reacted. Due to Yin Kang taking the initiative to attack, everyone on the stage no longer had any worries. With a series of angry shouts, the Origin Monarchy violently collided with each other, and an intense chaotic battle broke out. On the grandstand, everyone was also shocked by the strength that Yin Kang had displayed. That young man in green had the strength of at least 8 Monarch Spirit Warriors, but he didn't expect that he wouldn't even be able to withstand a single punch. Yin Jushuan smiled and looked at a middle-aged man in white not far away. He said apologetically, "Chief Zhu, I'm really sorry. My son didn't know the severity of his attack. He also didn't know if your son was alright. However, I didn't expect your son to be so weak. Could it be that there's no one else in the Zhu family's younger generation?" Although he said he was sorry, the contempt in his tone was unquestionable. Yin Jushuan's words also caused the surrounding people to laugh at him. The face of the middle-aged man in white turned ashen. When he heard Yin Jushuan's words, he forced a smile and said, "Regarding the matter of my Zhu family, there is no need for Sect Chief Yin to worry about it." After saying that, he looked down with a gloomy expression. The nearly unconscious young man had already been carried back by the Zhu family's people. Damn it! The fists in his sleeves slowly tightened. He did not notice that even when his nails were inserted into his flesh, the Zhu family's patriarch's eyes were on the verge of spitting fire. This time, the Zhu family had practically lost all of their face. After sending the young man flying with a punch, Yin Kang's facial expression remained unchanged. He slowly spread his clenched fists and turned his head to look at the chaotic crowd. His fists were piercingly cold, and the wind from his palms was whistling. Deafening sounds of explosions kept bursting out. Swoosh! A sharp wind from his fist had been accumulating power for a long time. When Yin Kang turned around, he suddenly struck out with his fist. The young man's pupils shrank, and he took a strange turn to dodge the incoming attack. When he looked over, a yellow-robed young man had a solemn expression on his face, and he was staring at the young man with great interest. Interesting. Seeing that someone had come to challenge him, Yin Kang grinned, revealing his white teeth. He clenched his fists tightly and rushed towards the yellow-robed youth. Bang! His palm easily blocked the opponent's fierce attack. Xiao Yan's facial expression remained unchanged. He quickly changed his pace and kicked out. The young man's facial expression changed dramatically. He crossed his arms in an attempt to block the attack, but he was still kicked a few meters away by the tremendous force. How is this possible? He's only a 5th Dao Monarch spirit, but his physical body is stronger than mine. Being kicked out by Xiao Yan, Wei Shu looked at Xiao Yan with a shocked expression. His strength was at the 9th Dao Monarch spirit, and with all his strength, he could easily defeat an ordinary emperor, but he was still unable to defeat this young man in black. Xiao Yan looked at Wei Shu and smiled. He clenched his fists tightly and felt the surging Origin Monarch ki in his body. He couldn't help but let out a long sigh in his heart. This was the strength of the 5 Monarch Spirit Warriors after advancing to the next realm. What it brought him was an even greater strength. Hi guys, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.